So this is the Microsoft Band, showing a photo of my parents from a few years ago. Notice the heart rate there, one of several data types you can have on the wallpaper. I'll have to take the clasp off the heart rate sensors in the clasp there. I'll show you it in a moment. In order to be able to show you some of the functions of video, there's the heart rate sensor. So here's the main interface. If you just drag to the right slightly, there's a sort of peek view at your battery, Bluetooth status and heart rate status. And then you can swipe across and there are notifications and numeric indication of what you've got waiting for you, if anything. In this case, for example, I've got 2 text messages waiting for me. And I can tap on that and see the 2 messages. Oh, there's one from my wife. Let's scroll up there. Apparently I've got to pick up some pizza on the way home. And of course you can do quick replies, and you can even tap out a message on this really rather fiddly keyboard, but we'll leave that to one side. Or of course you can just swipe across, and there are all sorts of pre-made replies that you can pre-edit yourself, and you can customize on the Microsoft Health application back on your phone. Again, this is swiping through messages, or going back to the main display. The email tile, again, as you'd expect, checking through emails, and each of them can be scrolled through as you'd expect. There's limited screen real estate, of course, so things aren't quite as easy as on a bigger screen smartwatch, but it's all very doable. Sleep is interesting. You can actually manually set when you go to sleep if you want to make your sleep detection really accurate, or the band will also auto-detect when you go to sleep and when you wake up. There's a Cortana tile, and that gives you the things like the news feeds and things you've got set up in Cortana, like weather forecasts and so forth. They all stream into that tile there. And of course, if you get phone calls, a log of phone calls, who's called you, calendar, what's coming up in your diary. Oh look, Alpha Windows are coming to fix my Windows today. That's good. And you can scroll through your appointments. Activity, of course, so you can set off. I'm going to go for a run. You press that, press the button, and you can either opt to wait for GPS, or you can just there you are, set off, and it'll keep logging your activity, and when GPS kicks in, it'll start logging your position on a map. And again, click the action button to stop the there we are. Oh, there's GPS even though I'm indoors. So we'll end that run and again go back to the main tile interface. You've got a stopwatch, alarms and timer utility. That's one more thing you don't have to have on your main phone, of course. Press the action button to start, and there we are, doing a stopwatch, perhaps timing someone doing a sporting activity. You have a weather tile, in this case going through the next few days of weather provided by Bing. It's usually pretty accurate, not perhaps as good as the BBC, but not bad. Activity in a gym. This is some of the workouts that you might have, perhaps there we are. The Bosu ball push-up. I pre-downloaded, I side-loaded a particular workout, so this is now starting and assuming I'm in a gym, but we're going to forget that. And if I double press it, there we are, I can finish the workout. Phew, that was hard work. Workout completed, as if. Let's go back to the main tile display again. There's a couple more here. You can have up to 13 tiles. I think in a fully configured band, I'd probably limit myself to about 10 because it starts to get a bit silly swiping backwards and forwards. Cycling, of course, exactly the same principle as going running. And of course, it logs your progress on a map if you let the GPS lock on. Ultraviolet light, this is interesting. I can press that and it'll detect the UV light. Perhaps you're outdoors and worried about whether you should put sunblock on. Of course, I'm indoors. There's no ultraviolet detected, but it would work outdoors. Finally, there's general notifications. That's notifications that will come in via Action Center on your phone. So things like Tap a Talk and so on, or My App Free in my case, would come in there and you could see what things were waiting for you on the phone. And finally, there's an internal settings thing where you can set up particular things like auto brightness and Bluetooth and power the whole thing off, that sort of thing. So there's the interface. Lots of swipeable tiles. I think I'd limit myself to about 10. And back to the main interface. This is the Microsoft Band, worn on the inside of the wrist, as you saw just now, where it's really rather convenient. And I also like the fact that once it's on, you can adjust the clasp tension without having to take the whole watch off and adjust something. It's just very, very configurable according to how comfortable you want to feel, or perhaps what your activity is.